What up, nerds, and welcome to another educational episode of Straight Chilling, the weekly horror movie review show where you chill and we kill, slice, dice, and chop up yet another horror movie. My name is Bob. I'll be your host for the evening. This is episode 382, recorded Sunday, August 7th, 2022. Tonight, we're talking about the winner of the August poll pick, which was The Faculty from 1998. Before we get into it, let me introduce everyone else on the show tonight. First up, calling in from Washington, D.C., we got our boy Randu. What's up?
Yeah. Hey, buddy, what's going on?
Oh, fuck yes. I'm playing Crazy Taxi in my mind right now.
Dude, I am crazy drifting my ass to bed tonight. That's for damn sure.
Drift.
I'm embracing my late 90s nostalgia like no other this week, so get strap in for this shit. We're about to go. I'm wearing my Bill Goldberg cap and my Twin Peaks shirt and my fly cardigan. I got it all, baby. I'm ready.
Pretty fly for a white guy.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I love it. How bad can a movie be that features an late 90s Offspring song? Can't be that bad.
Dude, the needle drop in the pre-credits.
Yeah.
Nice.
Last but not least, calling in from South Korea, we got our boy Soju. What's up, man?
What up? It's your boy Scatmang Stains.
Hey, you got any Scatmang?
You got any Scatmang?
I'm the Scatman. I stepped in Scatmang. Damn it.
Scat stains are tough, man.
Come on, I just need a little scat. Come on, man. I'm got to go back to the 70s show and I need some scat.
Why would anybody call their drugs scat?
No
reason.
What? Why?
Yeah, man.
I
got this new drug. I call it horse shit.
Sniff it out of this pen. Why doesn't that man own a comb? Is my other question. What?
All right, wait. We're skipping beats here. Let's go, Bob.
We're
Take
jumping.
control here.
So, as is tradition, let's start with some housekeeping. Here is another reminder. We got our September poll pick currently posted on our Patreon website. If you support us at the $5 level or above, you get the chance to vote on a movie we're going to talk about this September. The theme for September is Spooky Season Pre-Game, and the three movies to vote between are Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, Hell House LLC, and Sleepy Hollow.
Pumpkins. No, Bob. How those
pumpkins
numbers
on the menu?
Looking for spooky season, Bob.
They're looking mighty fine. Hell House LLC is certainly in the lead.
Oh, shit.
Handily so, I would say. And in second place, we have a tie between Halloween Deuce and Sleepy Holler.
Whoa, that's
genuinely
shocking.
Surprised. Yeah. I gotta give up on trying to guess because this is just embarrassing how wrong I am always.
You should be embarrassed. You should be.
I am humiliated and disgusted with myself.
You don't even know what our patrons want.
Yeah.
Don't kink shame me. I'm just humiliated about it.
You want some of that scat, don't you,
like
Randy?
That? You like the humiliation?
Are you the butt,
I'm the butt. Ow. There is no age. But no age whatsoever. So I'm going to need everybody to go ahead and change their votes to Halloween Deuce, please. That's just...
you campaigning over here?
Oh, I didn't know we were jockeying for position already.
If the numbers start changing, I'm going to have to start offering free things again.
Butthole picks.
Hey, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Soju will send you pictures of his freshly shaven brown eye if you vote Sleepy Holler.
You want that shaven, trust me on that one. You don't want to go through the tumbleweed.
Unless you do.
The brown mud thicket, we call it.
Tread lightly. So get your votes in before the end of August. We'll see what we're talking about this September. We did drop a brand new mini-cast last week. If you support us at the $10 level or above on Patreon, you get access to a whole back catalog of Patreon exclusive episodes. We got like 73, 74 on there now. We add to this monthly. Ooh. And last week we dropped a mini cast on Master, which was a new release on Amazon Prime. Juice was talking about that one.
Yes, sir. I'm just desperately trying to keep up with all the new movie releases this year. Good God.
So much.
So yeah, Master is another solid horror film release for this year. It is set in, New England, and I can't talk about it.
It's okay. It's all right. Take a breather. Juice is a little under the weather this week. Slam that into your ear holes if you have any, even a passing interest about Master. It's a solid release. I watched it as well. Young girl goes to college at a really fancy joint in New England. I can't remember. It's a real college. Shouts out to Jacqueline, who actually attended the college. I'm totally blanking on the name. It's a beautiful campus. It's haunted as fuck. She stays in a really haunted dorm. There's some like witchy lore involved, and it definitely tackles some social situations as well. It's a
gulp.
Yeah, gulp. Check that out on Amazon Prime. We also, at the time of your listening to this episode, we will have just released the tribute for Jack, the Godfather, the dude who literally, he's the founder of this show. He's the reason we do this podcast. He passed away earlier this year, and we made a brief mention that we wanted to do sort of a proper tribute episode for him, and we finally got that out this week. So check that out as well. I think that's about all we have. Did I forget anything, guys? Anything you want to mention?
No.
Dog.
Good synopsis, set. Bob. Thank you for covering.
Hey, I do what I can. This house.
Move along.
Yeah,
moving right along.
That's enough of your gabbing, motherfucker. Let's go.
Thank you. Let's go ahead and get into the main event. We're talking about The Faculty, and we're kicking it off with the back of the box.
What's on the back of the box?
All right, Bob, what does the VHS cassette that you got from Blockbuster say on the back? Is it too sweet?
Brewster. I got this on a Blu-ray right here. I got to throw some shade at this Blu-ray, though. It is bare bones. It has nothing but just the movie. It doesn't even have subtitles.
A waste of money, you say.
I am offended. Robert Rodriguez, fuck you.
Not even subtitles? God damn.
I know, not even fucking subs. Because I like to watch just about everything with subtitles nowadays, but can't do it.
That's pitiful.
My ears is going.
Dude, yeah. We're talking The Faculty from 1998 with a runtime of 1 hour and 44 minutes. This was directed by Robert Rodriguez. It was written by David Wechter. I think they called in Kevin Williamson to kind of script doctor this thing a little bit. It stars a lot of people. We got Clea Duvall, Jordana Brewster, Josh Hartnett, Salma Hayek, Piper Laurie, Famke Janssen, Elijah Wood is in this. Usher is in this. A lot of people.
Is he? Oh, is he the guy on the football team?
Yeah, it's a small role.
He's also the guy
holy shit,
who manages to make the cover of the disc for some reason, the poster.
Really?
Well, he's...
despite having 2 lines, you know.
I did not realize that was Usher.
He's Usher, you know. The tagline on this disc says, "Take me to your teacher," which I do appreciate that quite a bit.
Aha!
Slap
ring a ding ding.
Plot synopsis brought to you by the back of this box is as follows. This hip and edgy thriller from the director of From Dusk Till Dawn and the writer of Scream and Scream 2 sizzles with a hot casting including Elijah Wood, Josh Hartnett, R&B superstar Usher. When some very creepy things start happening around school, the kids at Harrington High make a chilling discovery that confirms their worst suspicions. Their teachers really are from another planet. As mind-controlling parasites rapidly begin spreading from the faculty to the students, it's ultimately up to the few who are left, an unlikely collection of loners, leaders, nerds, and jocks, to save the world from alien domination. Also starring Robert Patrick, Famke Janssen, etc. I already said everybody. That's it. That's what we got.
All right.
General Mangs, had you seen this movie before, and would you recommend people check it out? Randu, kick us off.
No, this is a first-time watch for me. I realize for people in our bracket of age, that's relatively uncommon. It seems like anyway. At least I get like gasps from people our age when they're like, "You gotta see the faculty," and so now I've seen the goddamn faculty. Yeah, I would recommend this to people our age, probably. That's probably where, maybe if you're looking for a lighter, like pretty bananas and heavily cast stacked horror film from this era, then yeah, this is up there. But I don't know that there's a whole big market for that unless you are from that era like us.
If you're into chuggy stuff, Chug Nation, if you wanna
actually at this point, this is like coming back around. This is what's in.
The 90s are definitely circling around. Juice, what about you?
Okay, so this is the opposite of Lake Placid, where I thought I had not seen this, and then as I watched it, I was like, I have definitely seen this. So I had at some point seen this film. I can't remember when. But I actually, I would recommend. This is a pretty low stakes, fun horror film from the 90s. I think it kind of like encapsulates that decade pretty well and like all its ridiculousness. So yeah, if you're looking for a bit of a time capsule, low stakes, fun kind of high school horror, then yeah, I would recommend you check this out. And Bo Bear, how do you feel about The Faculty? Had you seen it?
Placid.
Oh, hello. Yeah, I'd seen this a handful of times. I saw this like when it came out, and it scared me because I was a child.
Naturally.
What an idiot.
What a dumb child. I dig this movie still. I think it holds up pretty well. For the most part anyways. It's just like a fun it's a popcorn movie. It's, kids trying to figure some shit out in high school and they're fighting aliens. And I think it's just a very fun popcorn movie. Like Juice said, it's very low stakes. It kind of rolls off your back. But if you're looking for something like that, just like a fun alien movie with a baller cast, check it out.
I would say it kept me engaged too. So like that's these fun popcorn movies as we describe them. Sometimes they can plod on for a while, but this one doesn't. Yeah, so much to me.
Yeah, I dig it. That sounds like a pretty solid recommendation from the Straight Chilling crew. Let's go ahead and drop that spoiler warning and get into the rest of the movie. Here we go.
Spoiler warning.
Ahem.
Bob, you got that plop synopsis?
I got it. Let me plop it on you. One night at Harrington High School, as the staff leaves for the day, Principal Drake returns to the building to get her keys when she is attacked by the football coach and the drama teacher. The following morning, Casey, the school photographer, finds a slug-like creature on the football field and brings it to the science teacher, Mr. Furlong, who decides it's probably a new species. Delilah and Casey end up hiding in the teacher's lounge to get a good scoop for the school paper, and they end up witnessing the coach and Miss Olsen forcing one of the bugs into the school nurse's ear. They also find the corpse of another teacher hidden in the closet and are terrified. Casey runs out. He notifies the police, but his claims are soon dismissed. The following day, Casey tells his friends he believes the teachers are being controlled by aliens. They mock him shortly before Mr. Furlong enters the classroom and tries to infect them all. Zeke ends up injecting some of his homemade drugs into Furlong's eyeball.
His scat.
He scats in Jon Stewart's eyeball, and he dies. Death by scat. Zeke, Casey, Delilah, Stan, and Stokely, and also a brand new transfer from Hotlanta, Georgia, by the name of Mary Beth, all end up going to Zeke's house, where he experiments on one of the little slug creatures. He concludes they need water to survive, and his drugs can indeed kill them. He forces each one of the kids to take some of his little scat drugs, snort them in their nose holes, to prove that they're not infected. Delilah turns out to be infected, and she destroys the majority of his lab and most of his drugs before escaping. Stokely speculates that killing the alien queen will kill them all, and they just kind of decide that the queen is indeed Principal Drake. They corner Drake in the gymnasium and shoot her. Stan soon after confronts the football coach to try and confirm that they did kill the queen. The plan didn't work. They didn't kill the queen. It doesn't really work out. Zeke and Casey get more drugs from Zeke's vehicle. Mary Beth then reveals herself to be the queen. She faked taking the drugs back at Zeke's. Mary Beth explains her own planet's dying. She has to take over Earth. After some cat and mouse, Casey traps the queen behind some retractable bleachers and stabs her in the eye with some of the scat drug. 1 month later, we see all is back to normal. Casey is now a town hero. The local newspaper reports on the attempted alien attack, and the FBI continues to deny that any of it ever happened. Roll them credits.
Whew. Zeke is also banging his teacher.
Yeah,
yep. That's how the movie ends.
He is.
He decides, I think I'll play football and bang my teacher.
I feel like that whole thing back in the day was like,
yeah,
more
good
okay,
for you.
I guess. Yeah, it wasn't like totally okay, but I feel like it was.
Dude,
like,
I don't know. Apparently,
it's
it was okay
because the teacher's a woman.
Yeah, the hero of the movie.
Well,
boys will be boys. Bob, didn't you ever hear that?
I don't know. That's just weird. It's weird to watch some of these older movies and like just think about the things we like. You know, I watched this when I was like fucking 11 years old, and I'm sure most of that stuff just kind of went over my head. I was far away from high school, so like, who the fuck? I don't know anything. But like, I don't know. Like, our parents watching this, were they ever like, maybe that's kind of weird, or did they just like not think much about it? I don't know.
No parents watched this. This is like a movie that kids got dropped off at the fucking theater. Well, yeah, your mom's an exception. Your mom would watch Open Water with you. She's a saint.
She did. That movie's awful.
Now,
she demanded our money back after we watched
because the movie was too bad. And she got it, didn't she?
Yeah. They gave us passes to come back and watch something else.
Jesus Christ, please, here, take some freak passes.
Please just leave me alone. Please.
Now, Bob, when you get to high school, don't bang your teacher, okay?
Now, son, it may seem like fun, but it's a real mistake.
They might turn out to be an X-Man or an alien, so just say no.
Yeah.
Just say no.
My
mom doesn't sound like that at all.
Just say no.
Just say no. I don't know. Yeah, this movie, speaking of stuff that doesn't quite sit well, there's just like one sort of strange plot beat in this movie where
just one?
Well, I'm confused by that part, but go on.
There's one that I'm going to talk about right now.
Okay.
There's I forget the character's fucking name. I'm blanking. The girl who pretends to be a lesbian because she wants people to leave.
Stokely.
Thank you.
Named Stokely. Don't mess with me in a dark alley.
She wants people to like she wants to be left alone, but she just doesn't want to like be harassed by people because she's like, I don't know,
She likes to read science fiction.
Different, I guess.
She reads science fiction and wears black and is maybe a lesbian.
Right? Yeah, that's like it's
maybe
it's some cringy.
And then, fortunately for us, the audience, we can relate to her at the end because she's not a lesbian. So it's okay, everyone. Relax. Turns out, fake lesbian.
How is that? Like it's disturbing for obvious reasons.
Oh, and she also learns that she can also wear purple at the end of the movie.
Well, purple's a great color. I don't know, that whole like plot device just. I did not recall it until watching it this time, and I was like, "Holy fucking shit!" Like the '90s, like I don't know, we have progressed,
dude. The lateness. So this is like '98, isn't it?
Yeah.
And baby, I feel it.
This is when Limp Bizkit was, getting popular. So I mean, you just sum up what you will from that.
The Woodstock '99 happened like 6 or 8 months after this movie was released, or something like that, and we all know how that turned out.
I'm a little worried about being a slut.
Me too, Bobby. Me too.
So this that's kind of the thing. Like all these characters or whatever. This movie, it has that aesthetic wrapped around what seems like a Goosebumps retelling of both The Thing and Invasion of the Body Snatchers. And it has the self-referentialness of the 90s in it. And like, honestly, approaching it from that level, like I kind of loved this movie. Like I really loved like looking at this movie through a really, really like uncritical lens, which I don't always do, but I slipped right into it with this, and I think the nostalgia is what got me with that regard. God help me, I couldn't help myself with some
starting
the Offspring.
Maybe.
Honest to God, that really might be true. That really unlocks some shit for me. But I don't know. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So
it was easy for me to fall into this too, and I wasn't being so talking about not being critical, I in some ways was critical because I was like, I hate everyone in this film, and yet somehow I still kind of like it.
Yeah,
I
kind of like hate everyone in this movie if I dissect them, but watching them, except for Josh Hartnett, everybody in this movie, I kind of liked when I just wasn't thinking hard about it. So this is the ultimate turn your brain off movie, apparently.
Not me.
No, like
that cheerleader. Woof. She's rough. She treats her boyfriend like shit. Elijah Wood, even he's got a little bit of those moments. He's got a little bit of those incel moments. Randy's always sniffing out like old Jason X guy.
Sniffing out. Yeah, him sniffing.
He can smell an incel from a mile away.
That was a lot. There was only a couple of those though, and he eventually kind of came into his own, and I was fine with him. But
Selma Hayek
really stuck under me,
which was barely.
Selma,
in it. She was good.
She was barely in it.
She was there as a cameo almost more than anything else.
Kind of.
That's the thing. This movie's stacked, but they don't use everybody a whole lot, which is fine.
Piper Laurie is. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, when you see the cast, you're like, oh my God, there's so many people in this, but their amount of screen time is pretty limited.
It's very true. I was expecting more faculty in this movie. I thought there would be a confrontation with the faculty at some point, and that just doesn't happen. It turns out it's
Jon Stewart's run-in with the kids. I thought was a really successful scene, and you get a decent amount of Jon Stewart in that. I dug that. Yeah. Even though he's like just grabbing at this quote new species, and he has no idea, knows nothing about it. He's like, I gotta touch it. Like,
I gotta reach in there and touch it. Oh, it's spawning itself. I should probably reach my hand in there.
I gotta touch it right now.
Dude, yeah, that shit's ridiculous. But also, like I like him as sort of like a red shirt, friendly presence that turns I like some of the turns of the teachers, where they like show how they've changed, and you can kind of like sense that they've changed, but they don't actually like really culminate with anything for the most part. I thought for sure the coach was going to get more screen time. It seemed like he was like the main fighter of the group that was going to take care of most shit, and then secretly like it's Piper Laurie that's pulling the strings or something. But we never got to see Piper Laurie after she sends the principal after them from she barely gets a line in this movie, which is a shame because Piper Laurie is incredible.
Yeah, she's not in it much. There at the beginning of the movie, there's a really strange scene where we see the coach standing on the football field and the sprinklers are going on, and he's like bashing a sprinkler with his hand. Like, I don't really understand why that is, but like, and then of course
he was trying to get it to break to spurt water out.
Maybe so. But then we see him,
I think that's before he gets taken.
Oh yeah,
you're talking about like at the very, very beginning where we first see him freak out and flip the chairs or whatever, flip the bench, or after?
No, he's already taken, like, because it happens after he kills turns the principal, I believe, if I remember correctly. And we see
I think he's just there enjoying.
It's when Elijah Wood's on the field and he finds a slug, and then he happens up onto the coach and he's like bashing a sprinkler. It's just like a very strange, like, what is this man doing? I don't know.
Bashing the sprinkler. I don't remember him doing that in that scene. Am I crazy?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know he was like bashing it at the, like when we first get introduced to him at the end, he's bashing it and he's like a shadow comes up and he goes, whoa, what? It's like a sleepaway camp moment where it's like, what do you want? And you don't see who it is.
Oh,
you know,
what are you doing?
I guess it's old Mary Beth.
I guess so.
And that's when he's still a yelling, angry piece of shit rather than a like T-1000 in disguise, like coolly, like just, you can quit the football team. I can't stand in your way. What kind of human being would I be if I did that?
I love the designs of these aliens and the need for the water. That was a pretty fun gag.
Makes sense.
But also they used it in fun horror ways though too. That scene where the kid's going to go out there and check and see if like they killed the queen or whatever. And they're all just standing out in the rain and their like tentacles are all go. That was really fucking cool. Yeah. And for the most part, the effects in this look pretty, they hold up well, I think. There's a couple times really the head sequence looks pretty the roughest, I would say. A little homage there to the Thing. Couple scenes in here when they're testing the scat out.
The scat test.
Yeah.
Dude, fucking scat test. That's the thing. Like, that's the other thing is like there's a ton of like very obvious homage / whatever you want to call them in this movie. Like, it's not just body snatchers. They do the Thing. They do God, what else do they do? I don't know. There's just a ton.
They make mention of a movie that I've never seen before. It's Puppet Masters, plural.
I think that's a book.
It's definitely a movie from 1994 too.
Oh, really?
Okay, well, I'm wrong.
I don't know. I've never seen it, but they mention it a handful of times. They also name drop Independence Day and of course Body Snatchers. And I don't think they ever mention the Thing, but they're obviously like paying homage to the Thing in this quite a bit.
I think it's very late 90s that that this movie involves like basically encouraging kids to take like
drugs.
Take not just drugs but like homebrew drugs called scat. It's like the only way to know if you're for real is if you do the drugs.
He does.
Come on, man.
He does say it's mostly a diuretic too, which might give way to the name scat, which is hilarious.
Maybe it's all he said. It's mostly caffeine pills, though, and I don't think diuretics necessarily means.
Yeah, she says, "Oh, is this your big secret or where?" He's got all the caffeine pills.
He does say it's a diuretic, though.
Does
but is that what that means?
It like flushes your body, I believe. Which
maybe I'm
not just the doo-doo, but it's
okay.
Any substance that promotes the increased production of urine.
Oh, urine.
Okay.
Oh, so that's why that's why it dries you out. I guess.
Yeah. Huh.
Okay.
All right.
We are not doctors here. My God.
Am a
do not be mistaken.
Doc, we ain't scientists.
I'm a doctor.
Do not be mistaken.
Rob's claiming a PhD. Here.
I prescribe some scat. Cures what ails.
Oh God.
They also have terrible plans in this movie. Like, if you dissect any part of this movie, it completely crumbles under itself.
That's the thing. That's what's so surprising about it is, the things that I'm usually very, very critical of are like the character developments and overall character arcs and dialogue and,
the things you're
story beats. The things that should matter don't really matter in this film, which is kind of nuts, but it is easy to just kind of fall into and enjoy despite everybody being a piece of shit. But also too, because they're stupid teenagers and they kind of act like stupid teenagers. And so then it becomes kind of acceptable.
Yeah, it's the teachers who act fucking weird, man. Like, I don't know. Nobody cared that Lieutenant Spangler was drunk on the job. Are you serious? Like,
dude, the 90s.
I don't know, man. That seems like a stretch to me. But maybe I'm just not in the biz.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like I'm in the same mind though. Like this is one of those rare movies where like all of the traditional trappings that I would normally look to as like barometers of like how well crafted a movie is, they don't really matter to me. Like, but it's not also not so stupid as to hit the level of like a Sleepaway Camp or something like absolutely batshit bananas. It's bananas, but it's not like that level. So I don't know what the deal is. This movie kind of has the magic touch. My only conclusion that I can draw is that I'm just drawn to the actors and the setting and the time period because of nostalgic reasons. Like I know all these fucking actors, Femke Janssen, Lieutenant Spangler, fucking like that creeper Hyde from the 70s show is in this movie. Fucking Harry Knowles, also a creeper, is in this movie.
Who?
He's a former movie journalist.
Cool, ain't it cool news?
He's
was
the
his website,
really big dude with a bushy red beard.
Movie?
He was one of the like silent side teachers that we only kind of see.
That was like bringing in water and shit.
Yeah, he got Me Too'd also, so we got some Me Too.
I don't know
personalities.
What's his name?
Harry Knowles.
Oh, okay. I don't think.
And then we get like Selma Hayek for like a minute. We get like fucking Elijah Wood, like all these fucking people that I know or at least recognize on sight, like Piper Laurie. Like I'm still shocked that she's in this movie and how like little they give her to do. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty forgiving towards this movie, and I really don't understand. I don't have a great reason why.
Well, we do get to see Elijah Wood's nuts get smashed on a flagpole pretty early on. So that
was pretty fucked up too.
Yeah,
it's pretty fucked up. They're just kind of letting that happen.
I've only ever seen that happen in this movie and The Sadness, I think.
The Sadness.
That's about it.
Yeah.
2 in 1 year.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Maybe that was a callback to The Faculty.
Yep. Maybe. I don't
Big
know.
fans of The Faculty over there.
I don't know. We definitely, Josh Hartnett for sure was still wearing a beanie offset and then just pulled it off to go
this
on
fucking
screen.
hair.
What
my God.
Why was that?
I've come to the conclusion.
Why was he doing it? Why is that a choice? And like, why could nobody wrangle him? Like, just put a comb through.
Yeah, I'm also pretty sure that this was like his breakout or like his first movie. So it's like, this is just some punk kid. Tell him to comb his goddamn. Yeah,
I don't know if it's his first.
It is 1998.
Is it really?
And then he did Halloween H2O the same year. So it's the same time he was doing it. Yeah, this was his very first film. It's like, kid, comb your hair. You look stupid.
That's crazy that it's his first movie. Yeah, like I don't get that either. But like honestly, I've come to the conclusion looking at his repertoire of films. I'm just not a Hartnett guy. Like these two movies are kind of the worst offenders for me. But I don't know. The best I've seen him is in a very small bit part in Sin City, and he was kind of not a thing in that. You know, he's kind of there. Kind of filled a role.
He was in 30 Days of Night, which is an okay movie.
I didn't love that movie either, which I know is heresy to some. But
Pearl Harbor.
Oh, Penny Dreadful. Actually, he was good in Penny Dreadful.
I haven't seen that.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh, he's Wolfman.
He's Wolfman. He does.
Okay, that is the best thing he's in. That I completely forgot he was in Penny Dreadful. That is the best for sure.
Oh, he's gonna be in.
Well, it's good to know he's capable of something. Yeah, I saw that, which I'm interested in that movie. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe historical fiction is something, you know, maybe latter day Hartnett is much better, but like teenage Hartnett, especially because all of his characters play so smug and it just really rubs against my sensibilities. I do not like
really rubs against you.
Rub my sensibilities.
Oh, my sensibilities.
Josh.
They're so sensitive.
Don't rub my sensibilities like that, Josh. Come on.
This is a very sexual episode.
It is,
surprisingly.
They also do sort of a nod to Halloween, where like we see everybody sitting in class and they're talking about Crusoe and whatever. There's a lecture happening that probably ties in thematically, and then somebody looks out the window and we see the coach standing on the football field just in the middle of the sprinklers, all Michael Myers-esque.
That technically happens when they're in the office after finding the corpse that they pretend is not a corpse.
I'm just
after the shower issue with the older lady.
Dude, that shower scene was
cancer.
solid.
That was fucked up, man.
It was fucked up.
Yeah,
I felt so bad for that one.
It was fucked up, but it was like, for this kind of movie, it was an effective scene.
Yeah, it
was very horrifying. In several ways. The guy, he's just chilling in the shower. Can you imagine? Some elderly faculty member coming in naked, confused,
saying some crazy shit. Yeah,
but then also, her hair coming off and then,
he was about to be like, fall into the, okay, well, she's clearly in a bad way. Let's try and help her. And then her scalp falls off. He's like, shit, back the fuck up. What do you have?
That was a pretty solid twist too, of like, we try to put an alien in there, but she's too old to convert or whatever. That was pretty interesting.
She's too dry.
It was a good way to handle it.
Too dried out.
She's just too dry.
They do say, like, quote, the alien requires a moist host. It's like, what a choice of words,
Yeah.
But I don't know, that was kind of dumb though too, because it shows that it can easily infect like a mouse. It has no problem going into the mouse, so you would be like, they could easily hide in a shit ton of animals, I guess.
True. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it's the thing is, like, again, like, it's like you can pull any Jenga block out, and for some reason it still stands. I don't know why.
It just
it's all just made of sticks.
It's an entertaining film. I think, like, it just rolls along so consistently that, like, you forgive it of its errors, because, like, you are, I think, at the end of it, like, thoroughly entertained, I would say.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah,
maybe that's as simple as it is. Like, it's just like this well-paced little, like, action-centric horror flick that plays with B-movie plotting and like Goosebumps level logic. Like, maybe you're right.
But actually, to be fair, other than what I just said, where they could hide in alien or animals, the alien aspects are pretty fun and cool. I don't know, just like I said, them needing water and them just pounding water or standing in the sprinklers or that kind of stuff. The way that the things look, even in the tanks where their little tentacles sprout out, coming out of people's faces,
form fit to Stokely's hand. I thought that was
that was cool. Thing. That was a cool scene. With actually another effective scene is when they shoot the principal in the head.
Yeah,
like, oh my God, did we make a mistake? And I was like, damn, that's pretty heavy. Like, thinking of shooting your principal in the head with a gun and then thinking you just murdered an innocent person. Like, that's
Josh
pretty
Hartnett.
heavy.
They're kind of like hemming and hawing. Josh Hartnett just comes and goes, blah, and then just keeps walking. And I'm like, okay, Josh is really the get shit done piece in this movie for sure. But like, I like, because of his like attitude and like the way they position him as like, he's like the ultimate late 90s personality in this movie. Where he's like just disaffected, way smarter than people give him credit for, and doesn't give a shit. I just don't give a shit. Like, and he's like, I don't know, like making his own fucking drugs. I don't know. There's something about that character that really like doesn't sit well with me. But I also just, as much as I dislike it, I just don't care that much when I'm watching the events play out.
Yeah, he's a full-blown scientist. He has a complete lab in his garage. Like,
dude, that lab,
this kid's 17,
my
18. Like, what is going on here?
When he's talking to Mary Beth at the beginning and she's like, yeah, my parents are dead. And he's like, my parents are dead too. Well, they might as well be. I was like, God damn, that's some fucking horseshit 90s. If you said that to somebody whose parents are actually dead, they'd be like, the fuck? Get the fuck out of my face. Fuck you.
They might as well.
Dude,
except they're actually backpacking in Europe, so not really
they just don't care about me. And
so
I'm sad.
In what sense are they dead?
Yeah.
That
so they're not dead,
about you.
And you have a potential to speak with them if you wanted to, right? Okay. Not my situation, friend.
Oh my God.
I like that Shooter McGavin is Elijah Wood's father in this movie.
Yeah, he eats pieces of shit like him for breakfast. I heard.
You eat pieces pieces of shit for breakfast. And Elijah Wood gets his pornography taken away because he's been a bad boy. He was bad at school, acting up. He really just went to the cops, though. Like, it's wild that he saw some crazy shit and went to the cops, and then nobody believes. They like investigate slightly, and then nobody believes him. Like, fuck you, kid. Go to school. Shut up. Like,
he's such a wiener. It's like, you know.
I mean, he's kind of a wiener, yeah.
He's positioned as like what's her name? The cheerleader girl. What's her name?
I don't know.
Whatever. The cheerleader girl that he has a crush on and ends up like banging at the end or whatever.
Delilah.
She's like, she sucks, first of all, but she's like so cruel to him. It's like, yeah, you're the bottom of the social status. You'll eat shit forever or whatever she says. And it's like, like he's just like just resigned to this crotch busting existence for this whole movie until the end where he suddenly becomes a tabloid celebrity or whatever. So
Bustin' man.
I don't know.
That's the thing I will say is this ending, like this movie has a lot of problems that are really easy to overlook. This ending is absolute 100% cringe. Everything about how this film ends is so cringe. Josh Hartnett's just banging his teacher. Also, her head came off, so I don't. She has she's okay.
She has a fucking like an ascot on. I don't know if it's to hide a scar. Why is that happening? I don't think that quite makes it for me. But also him playing football. What is that about?
And
where does that come from?
And
just smoking. And like, yeah, fucking T1000 just is like, hey, put out that butt. And all of a sudden he's not like a temperaholic. Like he's totally chill now by comparison.
High school senior smoking on the football field whilst banging a teacher also
while
being
she's
the
like
star
toodalooing at him.
He's got it all
like,
figured out.
Fire this woman.
He got it all figured. She is a pederast. It's not okay.
I mean, we don't know. He might be 18, but it's still a fucking teacher.
So it's his second year as a senior. So he's actually probably 18 or 19.
Well,
he's legal, boys.
And he like sucks towards her at the beginning, and then all of a sudden she has like just this like I know that's part of the story. The radical change.
Okay, they
like being offered Magnum condoms.
He
wants this for my Magnum dong.
He's got condoms.
A Mantis toboggan. Oh no! I dropped my Magnum condom from my huge
my Magnum dong. Dude, that's fucking hilarious. Yeah, I don't know, man. That shit sucks. And then you have the girl who's pretends to be a lesbian so that she doesn't get bothered for being gothic in some way and is secretly in love with the jock who just wants to be a D student for whatever reason. That's the most understandable plot in the story is his, and it's like pretty bare bones. It's like I understand I understand wanting to quit the football team. I understand like being like I didn't deserve this, whatever, like, but I don't know, their whole romance or whatever just does not make sense to me. And at the end, she lightens up and he like gives up football, and that's supposed to make them the perfect match now for some reason. And then all of a sudden, fucking like the unlikely pairing of Elijah Wood and head cheerleader.
I guess
she's like
they're all like putting on a front, pretending to be someone who they're not, and then when aliens try to actually take over them and make them be someone they're not, and then they survive, they're like, oh, fuck it, life's too short, let's just actually be who we are.
Except I Elijah Wood is still the same.
He's still just
at the very end. He was always pictures of a butterfly with his camera. He's still a little wiener.
Piece of shit.
Yeah, but
fuck that kid.
Yeah, taking pictures of a butterfly fuck that kid. Fuck him.
Where does he
get
off?
He's like tabloid superstar on Time magazine and shit.
Also, the cheerleader doesn't change. Also, the cheerleader doesn't change either, except she's willing to accept Elijah Wood, who's famous now. So that's really the same kind of.
So her superficiality doesn't appear to be fixed in my mind.
They're all better off. Trust me.
Look, they're all individuals who question the system, bro. That's all that matters.
And they also don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Do they all remember that they were aliens? Because that's kind of a fucked up.
Dude, yeah.
I don't think I'd go back to teaching high school if I realized that my body was taken over by aliens.
Well, I think I'm going to the asylum for the rest of my life, and I'm going to commit myself and try and forget that I was not my own person for a while.
Did those bleachers move incredibly fast, or is that just me?
Or slow, depending on the shot.
I guess, yeah. However they needed to move is how they moved.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. That seems, if they could possibly move as fast as they were in some scenes, it would be like just such a risk, like a huge liability. Like,
yeah.
You would just kill kids, probably. A kid would die.
I really wanted badly for there to be a final confrontation with like the lot of faculty to justify the title of this movie, even where you just have like him walk into the go to the other side of the bleachers and he kills the thing. And then all of a sudden, oh no, that wasn't the lead. It was Piper Laurie who's walking up with the coach and the other teachers. And they have another final boss moment. Like, that's what I really expected to happen in that moment. And I kind of was disappointed that we didn't get that, because I really just wanted to see those characters, like how that plays out for them beyond, like, we don't even get an on-screen conclusion for any of those characters.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought that they did pretty well with the faculty. I mean, the opening scene is her running from the coach and having this chase with the coach, and then another teacher kind of locking her in and betraying her and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, they were great at the beginning. I just think like I wanted to see that brought in full force at the end. I mean, because otherwise it doesn't feel like on the surface level that I'm approaching this film throughout. You know what I mean? I want the name The Faculty to mean something, because at the end of the movie, you find out it's not even the faculty. It's Mary Beth from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Can't trust people from Atlanta.
From Hotlanta. That
Apparently
accent.
not.
Oh my Lord. She had a pretty funny, I think one of the things that the comedy in this is pretty good, even though some of it's still pretty cringe. But when she's talking with Stokely or whatever, and she's like, I'm not aware of any lesbianism in my lineage. I thought that was pretty funny.
That was a real Gilbert moment.
Yeah.
Gilbert.
Oh,
it was so obvious. Like, she's, the new kid in school, and of course she happens to be an alien and like doesn't fit in because she's a fucking alien. It's like pretty on the nose, but also
and it's pretty obvious.
Doesn't matter that much, really. Yeah, it is. It's like you know what's going on.
She's the only character that doesn't have an arc besides I'm new in town. Like, that's it. Like, and that also, like, she's like, everybody else has a problem, and her only problem is I'm new in town. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. But I don't know. They don't really cover that beyond one throwaway line where Josh Hartnett gets to show off how piece of a shit he is in this movie. And like, I don't know. It just seems very obvious to me that the person who threw all of your only weapon onto the one bad guy is clearly trying to fuck you over. And also, we never really saw her snort shit. Like, I don't know. She said she was allergic, and then she snorted it and just giggled. Maybe a red flag that she was lying to you. At least.
I only trust people that are high on cocaine.
Yeah.
But that
Dude, Elijah
Wood, everybody who's not on cocaine is a cop.
Was creeping me out.
Fucking gnarly.
Elijah Wood high on cocaine was creeping me out.
You're not. Okay,
well, yeah, so supposed to.
We've talked about this before on the show, and also we were getting into it on the Slack channel earlier this week about how just generally speaking, Jews, no matter what shape or form Elijah Wood takes, you're not an Elijah Wood fan, right?
I'm not an Elijah Wood fan, and because before I started watching this movie, I was like, or maybe as I started watching this movie, I was like, maybe it's because a lot of his roles, he just plays like a huge wiener kind of character. Like, he really does. And actually, I was kind of surprised while watching this. I was thinking to myself, this dude really, a lot of the characters he plays has a lot of those like incel vibes that Randy's always kind of like
picking
like
up on
red
him.
flagging against, or whatever. Like, oh man. And so I was like kind of going through some of them. Now he's been in a lot more films than I realized as I was going through like some of his stuff. But I mean, a lot of the times, especially a lot of his early films that he kind of got famous for, I know like, Sin City, he was quite the creeper. There's actually a movie that I really like.
A wiener.
Creeper. There's one movie that I really like, despite the fact that Elijah Wood is the lead. It's called Everything is Illuminated. Have you ever seen that film?
Yeah.
No, I've heard good things.
Yeah, it's a good film, but he again is like a creeper, like a weird dude in there. He just always plays somebody who's like kind of weird. And I'm not even I know a lot of people love Lord of the Rings. I'm not a Lord of the Rings guy, and I've seen them all, but I like was never a Frodo guy. I was always like, Frodo's kind of like a wiener in the realm of Lord of the Rings characters.
A Mordor wiener.
Where old Sam has to carry his ass.
That is literally the plot, though. Like that's what's supposed to happen. It would have. I don't know. I don't know. I think you might have a crush. I think you might have a crush on Elijah Wood. I don't dedicate this much time picking apart my least favorite actors.
I really like. He's always.
Sentai's not going to notice you, my dog.
Bothered me, but I was realizing, I was like, maybe because he always just plays like kind of like, I don't know, like weird characters.
Strange characters.
Yeah. Honestly, in this movie, like with the exception of him like sniffing his colleague or whatever, what's her name, Delilah, I think so, and like him sniffing her and just kind of like being pathetically in love with this person who like I don't know, he loves humiliation. He's into that fetish. But aside from that, like the whole plot, which I just have a huge problem with in general, like he plays pretty well in this movie. He's pretty just like, I think he's supposed to be a pretty strong point of view character along with Hartnett, which I think is just a bad duo to do that with largely, but I think he does a decent job with it. With the exception of those weird fucking moments that just don't even need to fucking be there. I don't know.
I'm a big fan of Wood. I'm a Wood boy.
Me too.
I'm pro Wood.
All the girls say so.
All the girls.
Oh, mate, he was a Maniac, another creeper.
Yeah, I mean, he does play a lot of strange, creepy parts.
He was in that Come to Daddy, which we covered, which he was like a huge wiener in that.
He also does the voice of Wart in Over the Garden Wall, which we all do love.
He's great in Radio Flyer. He's great in The Good Son, like his early career. When he was a kid, he was playing more like,
straight man.
It was obvious because he's a kid. They're not going to make kids roles. That.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
They're not going to make them that creepy, except for Macaulay Culkin, of course.
Yeah. He was in this Netflix movie that I really dig. It's called I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore.
I heard
of that, but I don't think I ever watched it.
He's like definitely another strange character in that movie, but
what's up with that? Why does he always just play somebody we play in I can't point to one film where he just plays
good.
One film where he's just a normal regular person.
Show me. Like there's, not ever. He's an actor. Like why? Like I don't need to see a movie where Christopher Lee is just kind of like chilling.
He's an actor,
smoking pot.
But it's weird that he always gravitates to that kind of role.
I think those are the roles he is sometimes offered. And I think that's what he's interested in because it toes a line. It's an interesting line to toe for an actor.
It creeps me out.
I like it. He also
that's kind of the point.
He also produces a lot of great shit with Spectravision. His
like the Greasy Strangler,
like Mandy, which we all love,
like movies that are risky, which they're in low supply right now. So I respect that a lot.
The Toxic Avenger remake, he's doing that too. It's coming out probably next year.
I didn't know.
I think.
I would say his biggest hit for me that I'm looking at here was Mandy. But he's got some knocks too. Let's not just say like he's like killing it. But Come to Daddy was not that great. He did Color Out of Space, which was like medium.
Yeah,
hit or miss is fine to say. Yeah. There's definitely some clunkers in there. There's no question. There's movies that I wouldn't like that some people love, and all those. Like that's all fine. Yeah. I'm just glad that he is out there, like as a celebrity, like a celebrity in some sense, going out and like making things happen in the horror world that just aren't going to happen without people like him running shit. Like,
I desperately want us to review The Greasy Strangler on this show. Like,
I know you
really
do.
want it to happen.
I finally have seen it, and I'm not.
Hopefully, that's one of those Patreon picks that someone supports you on.
Maybe. I also do
probably before we ever get Casper. I'm sure of
Casper. I don't know. We'll see. Casper's a fucking banger, though. It's a great movie. I'm down with you on Casper. I'm a sour boy. I'm a sour boy. Elijah Wood. I don't know. Weigh in. Let's go ahead and drop that prompt right now. Weigh in. Are you pro wood?
Are you hard with wood?
Do you hate wood? I hate wood. Colin,
do you think Frodo's kind of a wiener? Let us know.
Frodo's an addict, man. I don't know what to tell you.
He's addicted.
Addicts have problems.
To gold.
He's the only one man enough to be trusted with the ring, and then he gets taken over by it, and then he has to live with that forever. So he marches off this mortal coil.
Now that we're just talking about Lord of the Rings, do we have any other points we want to hit before we rate the faculty?
There were some pretty solid one-liners in here, and like there was some fun music beats, but also some lame ones, but that were also kind of funny. There was this one line that I wrote down that was a song, but it was like, "I'm a boy and I'm a man," and I was like, "Oh my god, this movie might be problematic." Sure enough. It was a Creed song in there. It was some kind of butt rock. I'm not sure what it was, but I picked out that line specifically.
Mall rock.
Yeah. Dude, there was another after the teacher gets all kind of badass or whatever. She says, "I'm going to shove my foot so far up your ass, you'll be sucking my toes till graduation."
Oh, yeah. I think Quentin Tarantino had a moment in the writer's room.
It's like, what the fuck? So yeah, there's a pretty funny one-liners in here.
Yeah, it's pretty well done. I think overall, like every scene has its problems, and there's things about the characters I don't like. A lot of things about the characters I don't like upon interrogation, but largely, I'm like down. Like I don't feel like anybody comes off as unnatural or like terribly. I don't know. Just everybody seems like they fit perfectly in this world, and that's worthy of praise because not every movie can accomplish that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert Rodriguez, man, he's made a lot of good ass movies, and I think this, I think this is like definitely a solid installment in his filmography, and I'm like genuinely surprised that you both enjoyed it as much as you did. I did not anticipate that happening here, and I'm happy to hear that it wasn't a shit bag for y'all. So yay, we got a decent movie this week.
I mean, we've been so critical. Juice and I have been like the voice of like anger.
Dude, this has been a rough year for me and Randy.
It's been a little run here of us being like absolute negative assholes, and it's like I'm so glad that even for reasons I can't comprehend that this movie does not fit that quota for me.
Dude, Lake Placid, Godzilla, a little bit of Stranger Things.
Came down on that one.
Yeah,
I was super negative on Basket Case. The Sadness, which Bob somehow liked and me and Randy did not. We had Jason X, which I actually kind of defended, but still within the same realm. There's a lot of things for us to bitch about this year.
I think we've done mostly pretty decent though. I don't have the list in front of me to say, but
I'm an ornery bastard. I guess that's just the conclusion I have to draw.
Old crotchety man.
Heard that.
That's me, man.
Except I'm really young.
So. You're so full of crotch. Yeah. You're
so vibrant.
Ooh. Oh boy. Let's rate the faculty. Let's do it. Out of 5. How are we feeling? Juice, why don't you kick us off?
Out of 5, I thought this was an entertaining film. It was easy for me to watch and kind of fall into and not be too critical of, even though there was a lot to be critical of. I recognized it at the time, but I didn't I thought the alien parts were kind of the best, and probably why I didn't care, because this was about the monsters. And if anybody died or got taken out, I was okay with it because they were all kind of shitbags. But they were also playing teenagers, which I was like, these shitty teenagers. So they were playing their roles kind of right, I don't know. I really like the alien designs when they find it and throw it into the little aquarium. That was a cool little scene. I like the effects they do with the teachers, with the tentacles kind of coming out. I thought that shower scene was really effective. I like the scene with them out on the football field. I like even the Queen kind of scene where she like goes to the pool. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know. I just dug on it. It was pretty cool. And even them, like, they were able to kind of cut loose a little bit in just their pure kind of references of horror, like, science fiction writing. And I don't know, it made it feel a lot less or a lot more loose. And maybe that's why I was able to kind of fall into it more. Yeah, there was some fun music scenes, some really funny one-liners. There's a lot of cringe in this movie too. It's definitely a product of its age. I mean, it's a product of its time. It was showing its age a whole lot. The lesbian thing, the whole ending, everything about this ending is so 90s cringe to me. And so that's definitely going to take it down some. Fucking Josh Hartnett. Oh my God, dude. I can't hardly stand that guy as a teenager. He's rough. And this was the same year Halloween H2O came out. So it's all within the same realm.
Great year for him. Bad people for us. Bad year for us, rather. What the hell?
Yeah. Bad year for hair. That's true.
Pour one out for Combs.
Overall, I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 5.
I am shitting in my pants at that. That is
really
impressive.
Please clean yourself.
I am shitting. Oh, God.
Somebody snort my scat.
Interesting. European style.
Bob?
Yes.
Why don't you go next? Out of 5, how do you feel about The Faculty?
I feel pretty good about it. I was happy. Like, I hadn't seen this movie in a few years, but my recollection of it was that it was just a very fun, entertaining movie. And upon a rewatch, like, it did hold up to that. So I was happy to not be like, oh, fuck, that movie sucks. I was so wrong. I think the cast is pretty baller. It's a lot of fun, even though, like, a lot of, like, the big names are cameos. I love seeing Jon Stewart in this movie. Just like, I don't know. I just want more Jon Stewart, I guess, in general. And like seeing him get stabbed in the eyeball is just like not something you see every day. So I found that to be very entertaining. I like that this is just kind of a teenage version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Just sort of like a fun, like kids are trying to figure shit out and survive some sort of fucked up thing that's happening. The soundtrack is relatively solid. The most of the effects are good, specifically in the pool. I think like you can tell that it's all practical in the pool, and it like looks fucking great. There's some of the CG that doesn't quite hold up, but like the story's engaging enough that I'm willing to kind of like let it go for the most part. I don't know. Most of the comedy works, but I don't know. I don't have like too many major complaints about it. I just think at the end of the day, it's a very entertaining, easy to watch science fiction movie. I'm gonna come in the same as Juice actually with a 3.5 for The Faculty.
Whoa, Bob! I'm shitting.
Wow,
my pants right
shit
now.
in your
man.
I'm not.
Is anybody gonna not have brown jeans today?
Shit in your pants, Randy.
Well, I'm free balling right now, so it's.
Wow. Okay, so it's just your chair that's suffering.
You're just punishing your
like nothing I'd ever smelled before in my life.
Hose them down, boys. Randy, how do you feel out of 5?
Yeah, so comparable to you guys. Like, I feel like I approach like the way that I see this movie is I can even imagine it with like a Goosebumps cover. You know what I mean? Like, I really see it as living in that space of being something that's just can't be taken seriously. And the moment you start to, the moment you can absolutely pick it apart. But just like my experience with it is that, but I'm not gonna. I'm just not gonna. It just doesn't feel right to pick something apart that's this silly. And like, that's not always the case. Like, I can watch some really dumb shit and get really pissed off about it. And there's ample material here. I don't have a good explanation for this. I really don't. I wish I did. I think the only thing I can think of is the nostalgia factor really matters to me. Like, it just really hit me in that right way. And I was excited to see some of these people because, again, it's nostalgic for me to see some of these people, some of these actors I was happy to see. Some of them not so much. Not so happy about seeing Hyde from that 70s show, but whatever. He's around at this time. He was in Dracula 2000 just a couple years later. And we all know how good that one was. I don't know. It's got its problems. It's not a movie that I would look to really for more than just like a little dalliance, and I probably won't aim to rewatch it very often. It's not going to live on my shelf or anything like that. But I like it. I enjoyed myself with it. I think that the music helped. I don't know really what to say. I think it was just kind of like it felt like a 90s, very late 90s version of Body Snatchers, which they outright state in this movie because it's post Scream, and you kind of have to, I guess, at this time. So I don't know. I'm kind of rambling here. I think that for me, it's a 3. I don't know that I would go as high as a 3.5, but I think that I don't know. It's not a movie that I would poo-poo if somebody wanted to, give it a go with me and they're in the room. But it's also not one that I would necessarily seek out to watch again anytime soon.
I'll give it a go with you in the room, Randu.
I know you will, buddy, but that's not what we're talking about here today.
Let me get that scat. With Randy's 3.
Oh, God, no!
Oh, God, yes. That's going to put our aggregate at a 3.3, repeating, of course. Let's go ahead and jump into our Rotten Tomatoes segment and see what the critics and users think about The Faculty.
Certified fresh to death.
All right, ladies and gents, here is the Rotten Tomatoes segment in which these gentlemen are going to guess within the best of their abilities what the aggregate positive score for The Faculty is on RottenTomatoes.com. And we're going to do both critics and users, as we always do, starting with critics. Bob, we're going to start with you today. What do you think that these 56 reviews aggregate to in terms of positive scores? Where do you think they land? It's 56, not a whole ton here.
Yeah, that's shockingly low. I don't anticipate that this is a critical darling. I don't think it's going to be super high here. I'm going to go with a 58.
58. Okay. Juice, what about you?
I think it's going to be a little higher than that. I think maybe this cast maybe bought it some goodwill from the critics. So I'll say 58. I think it's going to be higher than that. I'll say 60.
60. Okay. Bob, you're going to haul it away this time. You were very close. It's a 55%.
Nice.
Oh, whoa. Yes. I was wrong. Whoa.
You were wrong.
Bob.
If anything, the cast must have bought it negative goodwill.
I guess so. Fucking Hartnett in that hair. God damn.
What are you going to do?
Comb it. Just comb it. That's what you got to do.
No, he's not going to do that. We know that much. Yep. So that's 55%. Bob's going to take that one. Let's go over to the audience score. Now, in contrast, there's over 100,000 audience scores. Quite a few bit more. We'll start with Juice this time. Juice, where do you think that those users land on this movie?
I think it's going to be higher than the critics, but probably still, I'll say 65. I'm going to double down and say it's decently high.
Okay. Bob, where are you falling?
I think that's a good train of thought. Definitely higher than the critics, but not real high. I'm gonna follow my heart, and I'm gonna go with a 69 on this.
Oh, that's so nice.
69, dudes!
Okay.
Thank you.
So, Bob, you really fucked up, my friend. It's a 55, rather. 55%.
Damn, double down.
Same.
Oh my God.
Same score. Wow. Critics and users are not split at all. They are on the same page. This is a just over medium movie for people.
Holy shit. I feel a little more justified. People were roasting me on the fucking Slack about, Juice is going to hate this movie. Ooh, this movie's such a banger. It's going to be amazing. Juice just doesn't know what's going on there. I rated it higher than the critics and the oozers.
Yep.
Oh, dude,
You have devolved.
He didn't like Lake Placid, so he just can't.
Dude. This is better than Lake Placid.
Yeah.
This is a better film.
It is
than Lake Placid.
Worse than Godzilla 1998, though. Let's just get that out there.
If I had a dick, this is where I'd tell you to suck it.
The critics' consensus reads as follows. Rip-off. Sorry. This is literally it. Rip-off of other sci-fi thrillers. The critics all agree.
Sure. Yeah.
Damn.
The vote's in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty forthright about that. I mean, people say
it's not like it's trying to rip shit and hide it. It's everything is very obvious.
It's fair to say, though, that like while it does that, whereas like Scream had a reason for doing that, this movie just kind of does that. But it's not like we would call that meta today, and we would love it, and we would fucking like Deadpool makes whole goddamn movies about talking about being in superhero movies, and for some reason, the faculty can't get away with it. I guess it's just not smart enough of a movie to warrant it. Maybe. Yeah,
it definitely wasn't as smart as Scream.
Yeah, they're like kind of trying to do a light Scream thing here. That's why they got Kevin Williamson to like doctor up the script. In it, you can see it like kind of trying to get at it, but it is nowhere near as smart as Scream.
No,
it's not even in the same ballpark.
I dig. Here's to that. Here is a negative review from the critics. The Kevin Williamson formula, in parentheses, rewrite familiar horror scenarios and have the characters note the familiarity, in parentheses, has gotten to be a bore, and in this case, it makes no sense. I mean, does it ever?
It makes enough sense.
It makes enough sense to make if your goal is to make an enjoyable movie for teenagers, then all you really have to do is rip something off. You don't have to note it. At least they're having the decency to say like Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
It makes enough sense for a sci-fi film.
Yeah,
so,
I think so. Yeah.
It doesn't say anything, but most movies like this kind of don't. So it's okay to me. At least this time. One of the negative reviews from a user reads as follows. This is a long one. Anyone who was alive in the 90s remembers that there was a new crop of teen movies pretty much every Friday. Nearly all were lousy, but this one earns the distinction of being the worst I've seen. Wow, is this a steaming pile of garbage? It's saying something when Jon Stewart's dreadful facial hair isn't even close to the worst thing in the movie. I can't think of enough negative adjectives to describe this film, but it has to be the career low point for everyone involved, except perhaps Elijah Wood, who was in both reprehensible Sin City and reportedly horrific and morally vacuous Maniac remake. Jon Stewart cleaned up his act. Time to get back on that horse, Elijah. Juice, I think you sleep typed this.
Damn. I would not be so pretentious, I don't think, about that.
No, I don't think so. That's a pretty pretentious take, but whatever. I mean,
to say this is the bottom of the barrel for like high school films in the 90s, I mean, there was a lot.
Urban Legends came out the same year.
She's Urban all Legends. That. It's a film.
I was thinking horror, but yeah. And like to say Sin City as reprehensible is like, man, time to go back to Sunday school, man. You're done.
City's
I'm sorry, man. A good time just will not have you.
The man hates wood. He hates wood.
I guess Josh Hartnett and Elijah were both in that film. Sin City. And
a lot of fucking people were in that movie too. Like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, so there you go. That's our Rotten Tomatoes segment. Wrap it up. Put a bow on it.
Thank you,
split down the middle.
I do have just a few points of trivia. Let's go ahead and get into it.
It's totally time for trivia.
Trivia. So this was Usher's film debut, as well as Jordana Brewster's film debut.
And Josh Hartnett, apparently.
Well, so I was looking on IMDb, and it lists H2O before this, but I did not go any further to confirm exactly which one came out first in 1990.
All right, let me look.
So I don't know. Yeah, both those movies did come out the same year. I just don't know what the date was.
Okay.
So we were talking about Harry Knowles, and I guess on the set of The Faculty, he first got wind of Peter Jackson making the Lord of the Rings movies, and he, I guess, is credited as urging Elijah Wood to go out for the movie, or the franchise, I guess I should say, even though he had never read the book. So like maybe he wouldn't have done that if Harry Knowles wasn't on the set of this movie. But also we need to make very clear that Harry Knowles is a piece of shit. And
yeah, I mean,
that's enough.
Even without that, I think that's giving him a little too much fucking credit.
I'm sure. I
don't think that Elijah needs anybody's help picking his roles. He's been an actor since he was in fucking diapers.
Yeah, I'm sure his mom was like, "Hey, that's like life-changing money, child."
Oh,
go.
I don't know if I want to be in this this mega blockbuster production with me as the lead for 3 movies. I don't know. Come on.
So Halloween did come out first. This Halloween was released July 27th.
That's right.
98.
Yeah.
And this was released on Christmas.
Whoa.
The Faculty came out December 25th. Oh.
This is not
what a fucking weird time.
No, not at all. They're all like on the football field and shit. Like it's it looks like hot as shit.
In fairness, they release all kinds of movies on Christmas in terms of like it doesn't have to be a Christmas movie coming on Christmas.
Yeah, sure.
Because it's a big movie day for people. But for big blockbuster movies, this one has a lot of people in it, but I don't think this was a big blockbuster or
no.
I don't know if it was positioned that way. It wasn't like supposed to compete with fucking, I don't know, like Scream even. Like I don't think it was. It's a strange thing.
Yeah, that is weird. Also, Halloween H2O is not a summer movie. I don't know whose fucking bright idea that was. Good Lord.
I don't know. Just it was shot in California, Bob.
I mean, that's what happens when everybody in Hollywood's doing scat all at once.
They're all high on scat.
They're all high off their own scat.
Half the cast of this movie was in a music video for a song called Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 as performed by Class of 99, which is also featured on the soundtrack. I looked up the video, and really it's just like taken footage from the movie, and it's like intercut in between the band playing.
Like every music video of all time? Or movie music video of all time?
Yeah, the song is like, it's bad. It's a terrible cover of Another
They
Brick
played
in
it
the
in the movie.
Is it better than
for like a second.
the Korn version?
I didn't even know or recall that they did that.
Oh my god!
Really?
It's probably the same.
It's hard to imagine that it sounds worse, but maybe it does. I don't know. In exchange for product placement in this film for Tommy Hilfiger's fashion line, the teens from the movie's cast appeared together in a TV commercial and several print ads for a Tommy Jeans campaign throughout 1998. I looked up some of those quality images, and I'll be dropping those on Instagram because it's
really around here. That means big money.
Big money. Big money. This is the last bit of trivia I have here. So Daniel Von Bargen and Josh Hartnett both play characters named John Tate. Von Bargen plays John Tate in this film, The Faculty, whereas Hartnett plays John Tate in Halloween H2O, who is the son of Laurie Strode. There you go. She changes her name to Tate.
I would like to play a little game for trivia, if y'all would like.
Sure, yeah.
Hit me.
All right, I am looking at this soundtrack, so nobody look at that.
Okay.
And I want to know if y'all can name 3 artists that you think might be on here. So this is 1998. Bob, you can't guess the one that you just did a trivia on, Class of 99.
Well,
so other than Class of 99, we got to name 3 artists that are on here. I want to see if y'all can get it.
We got The Offspring, right?
Okay, but I'll give you that one. Boom, okay. 1.
I mean, in fairness, I mean, I was watching this with subtitles, and it said the title of several songs.
Really?
So I'm not sure that I can capably do this.
Let's see how Bob...
I'll take second bite at the apple before let Bob go first.
So, Bob, you got The Offspring. Just think of late 90s bands. That's really what you need to do.
Bush. Is there a Bush song?
Bush, okay. There is no Bush song.
Okay. I didn't know how many guesses.
Good guess, though. Good guess.
Fair guess.
Is there like a 9 Inch Nails track on here? That sounds...
Another good guess, but no.
Okay. Is that it for me, or is it like how many?
Take 2 more guesses.
Okay. You mentioned...
In fairness, I only have one to add, and I've already mentioned it. So.
Go ahead, Randy.
I mean, I know Creed is in this.
Creed
is for sure in this.
Yeah.
I'm 18 is the name of the Creed song. I'm sure that song was written when they were 30.
The
so
culture.
That's cool.
Those Canadians, you got to watch out for them. You know, you just...
So we got Offspring and Creed.
Is it wrong?
I want y'all to try to get one more between the two of you. Try to get one more.
So I don't... Korn,
how about Kid Rock?
Korn song? Fucking
Kid Rock. I think Kid Rock was maybe famous a year later. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
no, there's no Kid Rock.
That's possible.
So
Sum 41, Blink 182.
No. We're still more grungy than that. So we got, here's a big one, Oasis.
Oh yeah, Oasis was at the end.
Garbage.
Ooh, I was gonna say Incubus.
Soul Asylum. Still
Soul
very
Asylum.
much in the grunge.
Goddamn, the Buzz Ballads era.
Sheryl Crow.
Sheryl Crow, she fits perfectly with these bands somehow.
And then a song I would have given y'all if y'all said Rage Against the Machine, but it's actually Tom Morello and it's this another Brick in the Wall. But there's there's 2 versions on the soundtrack. One is by Class of 99 and one's got Tom Morello in it. I don't know. It's Lane Stanley, Tom Morello. It's just got a bunch of names. I don't know what's up with that. And then there's some bands I've never heard of, like Stabbing Westward.
You never heard of them?
I've heard of that. I don't know where they play, but
Stabbing Westward.
Yeah,
that's a terrible name.
It's not.
No.
Yeah, most of these names are terrible.
Degeneration, Flick. Sean Mullins. Okay, so that's the soundtrack.
All right,
there you go.
Thanks. That's all we got for trivia. Let's talk Cooter of the week.
Straight chillin'. Cooter of the week.
That song would fit nicely on the soundtrack.
Extra appropriate song.
Oh, yeah.
Juice, what is a cooter? Why do we hunt them?
Oh, Cooter's a character type. And a straight chillin'. Exclusive. Cooter must hit 3 of these 5 points to be considered a cooter, but we want the cooter with the most points. The 5 points of cooterdom are sexual deviance, manipulation, smug arrogance, overall look and attire, and overall patheticness. Boys, who is our cooter of the week? I feel like there's a lot of cooters in the 90s.
There's a lot of cooters in this.
Everybody has at least one, you know?
Yeah, I think so. I think just about everybody hits at least one of the 5.
Let's talk about Josh Hartnett.
Okay, start with Josh. Josh is sexually deviant.
Sexual deviant, banging his teacher. Check.
Trying to bang his teacher. Also, like, just, oh man, the manipulation of like I don't know. Like, there's something about there's something pathetic about his need to be seen as ridiculous, as like this grungy dipshit, instead while he's like also a chemist and some shit.
Also, there's a patheticness to purposefully failing your senior year so you can come back to school to sell drugs
and porn and bang,
and also just be there, to disrespect your teachers. Yeah,
just to treat them like shit.
That's quite
grow the fuck up. Also, and Rob nailed it. The look and attire, the haircut sells it instantly.
Jesus Christ.
That's a top.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Dang.
I like that.
It's so intense.
Taking it to 11. I like it.
God damn. Well, that's 3, right? That's
I mean, he's sexual deviance. I would say smug arrogance.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, jeez, yeah.
So I was looking at tires. Smug arrogance, patheticness, sexual deviance. It does seem who's he manipulating?
I think he's manipulative, but kind of in an every teen kind of way. I don't know if it's like it ranks so much.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if he's trying to convince a whole lot of people to do something they don't want to do. But he's got 4.
I don't know. He's trying. I feel like his like the way he's confronted by the Femke Janssen originally, and she's like, oh, "You can't do this here," and he's like, I think it's a little manipulative the way he dances around the problem and just doesn't do anything about it. So maybe there's a little bit there. What? So you guys, are you okay?
Bob cannot get it together.
Oh shit!
You guys gotta pull this shit together. I can't run this ship on my own.
Randy
fucked
you
me
got
up.
it.
Randy
take the wheel. Randy, take the wheel.
I don't know if there's anybody better than Hartnett.
I think
the aliens.
Elijah hits deviance by sniffing his would-be girlfriend. He hits patheticness for pining deeply.
Yeah, I would say
despite
he's
her being
pathetic. Yeah, he
looking at tires fine. Smug arrogance, no. Manipulation, not so much. I don't think he hits more than those 2, maybe.
Yeah, he's just a wiener. He's not a cooter. He's just a wiener.
Just for as the setup.
Typical Wood, just an old wiener again.
Oh, wiener Wood.
Wood is made of wiener.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, Josh Hartnett takes the cake this week.
Gosh,
thank God. I think we booked him twice in the same year.
Every time he's gonna be like,
if he's gonna show up with that haircut, he better be on watch.
Unless, let's get him on the show and just ask him about
Josh.
Yeah, let's do
Josh.
it. Hey man,
my man.
How dare you!
My man. Hey buddy, let's rap about that late 90s hair. What's going on?
It's terrible.
Yeah, I'm sure we've really endeared ourselves to Josh Hartnett through the course of this podcast.
He's really going to go out of his way to talk to us.
Go out of his way to come talk to the people who've been like completely shitting down his throat the whole fucking episode.
Shitting down your throat.
Sorry, the Duke Nukem came out of me. I apologize.
I think we got him. This week. Josh, double booked. Gentlemen, let's kick our boots up, let our hair down. It's time to talk about what we've been watching this week.
Hey gang, what you been watching?
Randu, kick us off. What you been watching?
Again, just not really the week for me to watch things. I have house guests and stuff, so it's just not been happening a lot. I have played more Paper Mario, which I've mentioned twice now. It's still fun. It's still kind of like a Zen experience to be able to replay that game. I rewatched True Stories, the David Byrne film, with the fam, and that's a fucking great movie. I love it. And really, like, I've noticed that like there are certain things that appeal to me, and I watched a lot of that recently. And Joe Pera Talks to You, and King of the Hill, and like all these like very slice of life like sort of shows and movies. And I realize that's just something that I'm drawn to, man. I don't know. There's something about like just little absurdities of life being blown out like that really work for me. So, I mean, I'm just a Mike Judge kind of boy, maybe. So yeah, there's that. And then last but not least, I did manage to sneak in a viewing of Prey, the new Predator sequel, which I greatly enjoyed. And I think that the hype is largely earned, but maybe a little overblown for that one. I'm just kind of like, I was shocked at how I was optimistic about the movie. The trailer to me looked pretty interesting. And while I don't think it's a perfect film by any means, but I do think that it's like, it's worthy of some praise. So it kind of explains some of that hype for me, if not all of it. And really, that's about it for me.
Right on. Juice, what you been watching?
Yeah, I also watched Prey, and I think we'll probably be talking about it later, so I won't say too much. But yeah, I was excited from the first poster they released with that, the bow and arrow and stuff. And I would just say that I hope this encourages, filmmakers in the future to kind of take some wild swings with these kind of dead franchises, because I thought it was, I thought it was a fresh idea and it worked out really well. They did it well. Throwing it in the past, Predator has had some rough releases over the past few years, and this one was solid. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, that was a nice surprise. I'm happy for that. I also I've been meaning to watch it for years. And after I watched that Decision to Leave from Park Chan-wook last week, I decided to watch The Handmaiden, which is another so beautiful film. That man's cinematography is fantastic. Also quite depressing. Dude,
that's his thing.
Yeah, it really is, but so beautiful. It's quite long, 2.5 hours, but I actually didn't realize it was set during the time of kind of colonial Japan occupying Korea. So in I would say around the 1920s era. So it's got this interesting historical point because it's Victorian style Korea / Japan. And I don't know. I didn't quite realize that was the setting and the time frame for this film, but it was really good. It's I put it toward the top of his films, and really beautiful, and I would encourage people to check that film out. I finished Miss Marvel. I can't remember if I mentioned this or not, but I think I'm gonna take a break from those Marvel shows. They're not too hot the past couple, so they might be falling off quite a bit. But yeah,
there's only 9 more coming out next year.
I had a hard time with that one, to be honest. Still going through The Boys a bit. I'm at the end of season 2 now. I've really slowed it on that one because it's also super depressing. I've been watching some Seinfeld a little bit. That shit is hilarious. And I was watching. I posted on the Slack where they were talking about if they would if you would help your friends, or if you would turn your friends in if they if they murdered somebody. And Kramer does not skip a beat. He's turning your ass. Fucking snitch, damn. That was a good episode though. Other than that, I've been watching anything. I feel like I have. Well, I can't think of it. I feel like I always miss something each week, but I'll swing it over to Bob. Bob, what you been watching?
Yo, I watched the majority of Prey, but I was unable to finish it, so I can't really weigh in on it yet.
Did you fall asleep, Bob?
No, I just had to leave. I had to go do some shit.
Okay.
But I enjoyed what I saw so far. But yeah, I'll definitely finish it probably tomorrow. I started rewatching, I should say, Bored to Death, which is an HBO show from mid 2000s. It's Jason Schwartzman, Zach Galifianakis, comedy, half-hour comedy. Ted Danson's also in it. Yeah, it only lasted for 3 seasons before they canceled it. But Jason Schwartzman lives in Brooklyn, and he moonlights as a private detective on Craigslist. And each episode is a new case that he's trying to solve. Basically, very funny, very easy to throw on.
It's a really good show.
Yeah,
the big black clock of time.
Is definitely a plot point in one of the episodes. I definitely recommend it if you're into Schwartzman or Galifianakis. Really just funny fucking show. Check that out on HBO. I also watched speaking of the late 90s, I watched the 3-part documentary on Netflix about Woodstock 1999. It's called Trainwreck.
Ooh.
And there was another documentary that hit HBO last year, I think. Last winter, perhaps. And I thought that was fairly illuminating. and I enjoyed it quite a bit. I think this one is better. It's more in depth.
Okay.
The way it's broken down into 3 episodes, and each episode is one day of the festival. So it's like Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Ah, that's cool.
And they interview people that were like involved in the production of the festival, like top to bottom. Like the guy who created Woodstock is being interviewed. The money man, his partner, is being interviewed. People that were running security are interviewed. People that were on deck, like selling food, just anybody across the board that was involved. Like MTV personalities are interviewed. People that just attended are interviewed. They cover every base in this.
What platform is this on?
This is on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. I watched one that like about the same topic that I thought was on Hulu.
Oh,
like
so one came out last year on HBO Max.
Yeah,
that's what it. Okay,
yeah.
I just want to make sure I wasn't thinking of the same thing. This is a new thing. Then
this just came out this week. This is brand new. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I this was even more illuminating, I thought. If you have any interest in the chaos that was Woodstock 99, I highly recommend checking this one out. It's just wild, the shit that went down, and like how each day it devolved like just more and more, and like the living conditions of the people that were there camping out for like the full weekend festival is just like it's atrocious, man. It's like no wonder it ended in a riot. No fucking wonder. It is insane. I recommend checking it out. It's kind of mind-blowing. Yeah, I guess that's all I'll say about that.
It's like as a growing subgenre of true crime documentaries about festivals gone horribly wrong.
Right? Yeah.
Like Firefest, Woodstock 99, fucking Altamont. I'm sure there's a few out there.
I think we got a recent email in the Straight Chillin' email about some kind of fire thing.
Let's give them money.
No, it's like
Let's give them all the money.
Yeah,
they're going to fly us to Firefest? Where do I sign?
I could find that. I think I trashed it.
Here's a blank check. Here you go. Go nuts. It was like when they're interviewing the creators of the festival, they just like kept blaming it on like a small portion of shitty attendees, basically, and like
oh god.
In like, dude, festivals,
no responsibility.
No, yeah, like did not ever.
That's so funny,
fault, like whatsoever. And it's like, like festivals happen and have happened since Woodstock 1969. And like generally speaking, this shit doesn't happen, man. It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It
even with some of the terrible shit that does happen at those things, the scale of this is insane.
Yeah.
And like I remember in the documentary I was talking about from HBO, they like. I think it's the same. One of the people that was in charge was interviewed, and he said something along the lines of like, well, if you get a bunch of guys out there and a bunch of girls wearing almost nothing, what do you think's going to happen? And it's like,
man. Yeah.
you could have not fallen ass backwards into a worse way of handling this, you fucking idiot.
Yeah. Like so, you could clearly tell like some of the interview questions were like fucking softballs. Like anybody knows how to answer this, and they're just like, well, I mean, it's a population of a small town, and there's a certain number of like heinous acts against women that are just to be expected. And it's like, no, it's unacceptable.
Oh my God.
It's unacceptable. Like you can't.
Do you think any police station in the world
also
could
like
say
the
that
security
without
just like abandon it and start riding with them?
Because dude, they just found random people to be security, and like
they didn't. Yeah, they just like abandoned. They weren't even registered.
They gave him a T-shirt and they paid him $500 for the weekend, and were like, "You're just security now." And at a certain point, they were like,
"I'm not, bitch.
Like, I'm not putting my life on the line for $500. Like, of course not. They don't even.
Or they were just like, nobody's watching me. I'm gonna go do fucking shrooms in a corner somewhere.
Yeah. I'm gonna go mosh. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It's wild shit, man. I recommend it. I recommend watching it. That's really awesome.
Just hire the Hell's Angels,
dude.
That's the force they needed.
They ended up having to call in the National Guard. Like, it's fucking nuts, man.
Those firemen, those fires and shit.
Yeah, it's.
I
wild.
remember in that HBO documentary, they're talking about that one guy who like died in the pit or whatever. That was really messed up.
That's fucking sad,
Fucked
man.
up.
Or Metallica or something.
Yeah, and if they had been properly staffed, maybe he would have been properly diagnosed and would have lived. You know, who's to say?
Mm-hmm.
But they just didn't. They cut all the corners they could.
So
man, it's fucked up. Yeah. Anyway, train
blame
wreck.
it all on Fred Durst. That's really the lesson.
It's definitely Fred Durst's fault. Check out Trainwreck. That is on Netflix. That's all I've been watching. We got one more segment to get into, and it is, of course, our Hotline Screams.
Hotline Scream.
If you are listening and would like to call in and leave a voicemail to be featured on next week's show, hit us up at 904-638-3231. We do have one voicemail this week. This is from our boy Beatbone. Let's hear what he has to say.
I be calling because I'm screaming and creaming, yeah. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Beatbone here. Calling in because if there's anything that I could probably most likely be institutionalized, it's my need to buy seasonal wares. And I know they're out there. My girlfriend's sending me the TikToks, the Instagrams of the Home Goods and the Marshalls and the TJ Jacksons. Halloween items are in the shelves, and I need them. I'm looking. But your boy over here, he's at max capacity. I got to be real selective. So I didn't know going into the spooky season, so if there's any options out there that you guys see that's automatic buy now. Because I got to be picky. Got to be picky this year. But yeah, that's it. Love you, fellas. This is fake.
Max Capass,
baby. I know the struggle. The struggle's real.
Bob, you have one of those skull pineapples, don't you?
Yeah,
from the
Target.
Tiki Bar. Okay, yeah. I thought
Those
the
are pretty
Target.
good.
That's what immediately came to my mind. I was like, Bob, go get those really fast.
Yeah,
I wonder if they've got like a little collection of like coconut style. Randy made one of our sweet T-shirts. Probably one of my favorites is the orange jack-o'-lantern. It's a cool design.
Yeah, I've went to Joann's over the weekend because everybody's starting to roll out their Halloween decorations and stuff, and Joann's didn't have a whole lot out yet, so like I didn't pick anything up. There is a Spirit Halloween open in town. I just hadn't hit it up yet. I did recently purchase this jack-o'-lantern directly above my head. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it in the background. And it's got a candle, like an electronic candle inside. You turn it on, and the face of it looks like the face of the jack-o'-lantern in the opening credits of the original Halloween.
Okay,
nice.
Yeah, it's a high quality item, I guess. I got that from Trick or Treat Studios. If you are interested in checking that out.
Cool.
Yeah, that's the only thing I have to recommend so far, though. Things are still rolling out, so I'm sure there's more to come on that. We'll talk about that.
There's an artist or a designer, like an interior designer type person called Jordana Parker, who I found a lot of sort of like vintagey looking Halloween goods from, and a lot of them are like collector's item-y things. So I mean, it depends on how much you're willing to spend or whatever. But I got like one or two of these things. It's just like very it's very inspired by like Beastal stuff or whatever, and like you can download like I think free or pretty cheap, pennant style triangle banners that have cool designs on them and like foldable stuff. I don't know. I like that sort of like orange, black, yellow, vintagey shit. So I deck out in some of that stuff. If you're into that, then Jordana Parker is a good place to start. She does a lot of stuff and sells it through a lot of outlets. So I'll put that out there.
Nice.
Nice.
Solid recommend. Check those out, Beatbone. And back at you if you find anything that's an immediate buy for you. Call back in and let us know so we can get our hot little hands on it. Spooky season is upon us, boys. I also had my first pumpkin beer this weekend because they're rolling those out.
I saw that.
Had a pumpkin and it was absolutely delicious. You got to buy that shit and we just squirrel it away until October because it's always gone come October. You can't find it when you want it.
Yeah. That's crazy. You got to buy in August. That one I had last year was the best pumpkin beer that I had, and I was only able to buy like 2 cases of it in like August too, I think. But that was so good. I threw it up on our behind the scenes last year. What? Oh, here it is.
The Greater Pumpkin.
Greater Pumpkin. Yeah.
That is a
Heavy Seas beer. That was so good.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready for Halloween for sure, but I'm not putting out my decor or anything like that until we hit a little bit of nip in the air. And right now I melted in the goddamn sun all day long. So
yeah, it's still pretty toasty here. But on the lunar calendar,
it's cold.
Yesterday was like yesterday I think was the first day of like the autumn season technically, so should be coming. Lunar baby.
Right around the bend.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, hit us up. Let us know if you got any Halloween decorations you want to recommend, or Halloween brews. Pumpkin brews, fall brews. Let us know.
Also, let us know would you turn your friends in for murder.
Also, let us know if you are if you feel the same way we do about Josh Hartnett's hair.
Yeah,
or Elijah Wood. Anybody else out there think Elijah Wood's a creeper like me?
Or do you love wood? Call us if you love wood.
Oh, we're gonna get a ton of calls. Don't encourage that, Bob.
Don't encourage the opposite view as me, Bob.
Bob,
don't do that.
We need calls to support my bias. Okay?
Not yours.
What are you trying to do to me, Bob?
That's like 8 questions. Call in. You got a lot to say.
You trying to
just
humiliate
call in and say
me?
some shit.
Bob, that's Randy's thing.
That's Randy's
kink.
Yeah. I thought it was my job to humiliate you. That's what you're saying. I don't think so, but okay.
I only want Randy's scat on my face, not yours, Bob.
Damn, Bob.
That's it's a fine brew. I must confess.
I don't agree.
It's a very thick, potent brew. I will say that.
Hey, fuck you.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
That's all we got. Call in at 904-638-3231 and answer any of those questions, or all of them. It's up to you.
Or none of them.
Fuck you.
Call in defiance.
It'll be about nothing, like none of those things.
Somebody's gonna call and just give their grocery list. Just read it out loud.
Oh God.
Fuck you. Well, we're going to be back next week with a brand new show, as always.
I wonder if Magnum Condoms is on there.
For my Magnum.
Call in with your Magnum Condoms.
There was a scene in Bored to Death where he's like following somebody around, telling them they buy a pack of condoms, and he walks up to see what they were, and he reads like, oh God, they're Magnum condoms, and a girl looks over his shoulder and sees him reading it, and he just like casually buys every single box. Like ridiculous.
That show is ridiculous, dude.
It's funny shit.
I love that show.
Magnum Condoms, extra large bottle of lube, zucchini.
Wait a minute, I'm doing
cucumbers.
Doing some mental
math here. Is it Friday already?
It's Friday. I'm in love.
Just the old grocery list.
Yep.
Fuck. All right, yo. We got a brand new episode next week. We're talking about A Tale of Two Sisters from 2003. Slam that into your eyeballs and get ready for next week's show. And we're probably going to have a special guest on, as long as everything goes according to plan, most likely.
Fingers crossed, special guest.
Our boy Bong Joon's going to be here.
Dude, next time.
Next time.
If everything goes as planned, next summer.
We're going to be best friends.
It's Bong Joon Johnson, guys. Okay.
My boy Johnson.
My boy. Check out A Tale of Two Sisters. Get ready for next week's show. Until then, please rate, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes. You can follow us on Twitter at STR8_chilling. On Instagram at Straight Chilling Podcast. You can send us an email at straightchillingpodcast.com. If you want to join in on our daily Slack channel conversations, just hit us up on one of those social media outlets, and I'll send you a link so you can do so. Until next week, as always, all you mother truckers, please keep chilling.
Yeah.